the 7 churches I was in, most people did not read the Bible more than once a week outside of Sunday. You can tell because it took them a long time to find a book of the Bible, or they had to look in the front for the index. If you can't find Psalms, I don't think you're reading the Bible, because Psalms is the biggest book. I mean, it's probably 10% of the Bible. I mean, flipping through, anyone who reads the Bible consistently knows Psalms is in the middle. You've opened the Bible halfway, 9 out of 10 times, you'll hit Psalms or Proverbs. The problem of child indoctrination is they omit things. Is it on purpose? I don't think so. I think we can't tell kids about child sacrifice. But the problem is they're not teaching it in the adult class. Genocide is never condemned unless it affects a patriarch or Jesus. And Jews even have a holiday celebrating the massacre of Jewish people. I think it's Passover, but they're not celebrating it. They're celebrating the liberation from not experiencing it, because God killed the Egyptian children. So they're really celebrating liberation by God killing another race of people's babies. Yeah, that sounds terrible. The whole problem with teaching kids under 18 is they're teaching kids to only have tunnel vision. They're not teaching a lot of other things. If they were teaching Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Wicca, Satanism, atheism, humanism, I mean, any form, if they were teaching kids all the different religions, how religions impact just our history, our science, our medicine, that would be amazing. But when you're only teaching one religion and one tiny little denomination within that religion, which is usually so extreme, you would think they were crazy if you weren't in this denomination. I mean, most Christians consider Seventh-day Adventists to be a cult and to have crazy dogma. If you're not a part of these extremist fundamentalist churches, the things they believe and teach their kids would sound crazy. When you teach kids information that is not correct, and you're not even teaching them any other religion, any other beliefs, and you're saying this is the only right way, this is the only way to heaven, you're indoctrinating your kids. Parents, especially Christian or fundamentalists, they don't want their kids to have access to other beliefs. They will pull them out of class so they won't hear queer literature or queer issues. They'll pull them out when they're discussing critical race theory for Black Lives Matter or Black History Month. They'll pull them out when they talk about abortion. Or another very popular one, especially in Florida and Louisiana, they'll pull their kids out if they're discussing books that don't adhere to a very narrow vision of heteronormative, cis existence. Abortion. If abortion is mentioned, they'll pull their kids out. These kind of people don't want their kids learning anything but a very tiny, narrow tunnel vision. And it's not all parents. There are parents who indoctrinate their kids and isolate their kids socially and intellectually, but still allow their kids to learn other things. There are other families that do the exact same thing, but they antagonize and guilt their kids for disagreeing, wanting different information, or even daring to ask questions outside of the home. Parents have gotten kids, teachers fired for asking a simple question about, did white Americans or white settlers really commit genocide against Native Americans? Because white people don't want to be uncomfortable talking about atrocities. And at the end of the day, church has to exploit vulnerable kids to get them through the door. And once they're in the door, they can indoctrinate them. It wouldn't be a problem teaching kids about religion if you were teaching all religion and you weren't saying this is the only way, and if you don't believe this way, you're going to hell.